Good morning, children. Children, I welcome you all to today's session of English. And today we will be discussing a great poem, a landmark poem written by Sir Henry Wotton. And the poem is The Character of a Happy Life. Now, see, children, this title itself speaks volumes about the poem. That here, true happiness is being emphasized upon, and what actually is true happiness is being very aptly illustrated by Sir Henry Wotton. Right. Now he says, how happy is he born and taught, that severeth not another's will, whose armor is his honest thought, and simple truth his utmost skill. Right. Now, see, children, the the poet begins here with a question in the very first line by beginning with how. Right. The poet questions the people and asks that how happy is that person that from his very birth he is being taught that he should not serve to somebody else's desire. That is, he should not be a slave or servant of somebody else, but he should be a master of his own will, master of his own desires, and master of his own thoughts. Whose armors is his honest thought. Means that person is decked up with armor here means decked up with, right? He's decked up, he's completely filled with his honest thought. These his thoughts are not mixed or superimposed by thoughts of other people, right? And simple truth his utmost skill. And what does he possess as a skill? That is simple truth, right? Truth gets deformed when it is mixed with other people's desire or other people's thought. But here, as the thought is the are that of that person himself, so it is the thoughts are simple, right? Utmost means ultimate skill. Utmost means ultimate. Okay. Whose passions not his masters are, whose soul is still prepared for death, untied unto the world by care of public fame of public private breath. That is, his passions, his desire are not mixed due by desire of anybody else. His desire are his own, and he works according to that. He goes to find solutions of that. Who's is the soul of such person is always ready for death because he knows that is the ultimate truth. Now, suppose if it is a servant, if he's doing some job by his master, is he allowed to die by his own will? No. When his master will suggest that okay, now your work is over, now you can die, then he can die because he's a servant, he's a slave. But here is a person who can die freely by his will. See, untied into the world by care. He is not tied to this world by care or comfort or such physical kind of attractions, right? He is not tied to the world because he is master of his own thoughts, right? So he can do whatever he wants to do. वो अपनी मर्जी का मालिक है. वो जो चाहेगा वो करेगा, उसको दुनिया से कोई लेना देना नहीं होगा. ऑफ पब्लिक फेम और प्राइवेट ब्रेथ, एंड दीज टू थिंग्स से तो वो बहुत ही दूर होगा. व्हाट आर दीज टू थिंग्स? ऑफ पब्लिक फेम, right? Why do most of the people do something? So that when their master honor them in public, right? उनको लोगों के सामने सम्मान मिलता है, right? So the masters honor them in public. For that many people go at lengths doing it, right? And private breath means that within it there is some secret profit which is hidden, which he can have by that. So the person, if he is not working under the control of anybody, he is free from this. He will not even dream about getting any public fame from any no reward, no nothing, because whatever he is doing for himself. Whose envy is none, that chance doth raise. nor wise who never understood how deepest wounds are given by praise, nor rules of state but rules of good. Right? This envies means he is jealous. So that person, if he is working as per his own will, he will never be jealous of anybody else, the growth of anybody else, or he will never be planning or plotting, because for him now he's not concerned with the world. Whatever he thinks, whatever he feels like, he's doing. When he sees others doing the slave kind of job or servant kind of job, he does not get disturbed by that, right? And such people, they know it very well what deep wounds are given by praise, right? See, because if somebody is praising you, right, suppose there is an employee who does a good job and his boss comes out and says in public that Mr. So and so has achieved the target, he has done very well. Now what does, okay, that praise is there, he claps will be there, but what does that mean? Okay, that person is an employee under the person who is saying, who is praising him. He is subordinate to him, right? So indirectly that person is trying to say that person who has done so good in sales, he is my subordinate, right? So these are very good, great wounds, because if I am good, if I am very able, capable in that, why should I work under anyone? Nor rules of state but rules of good means whatever the rules are made by this physical world, he's free from them, and he works as per the rules which are better for everyone, for himself, for the society, for the earth, for the universe, right? Who hath his life from rumors freed, whose conscience is his strong retreat, whose state can neither flatters feed nor ruin make oppressors get. See children, we are on to this paragraph here, right? So his life the is free from rumors, because he's not listening to anyone, not working as per anyone's desired. He's working as per his own will. So why will the people spread rumors about him, and why will he listen to those rumors? And his inner conscious here refers to soul, the voice of soul is a strong retreat. Means whenever he falls into such things, he listens to his the voice of his soul, whose state can neither flatterers feed. Flatterers are those people who just for their personal benefits will shower praises upon you to get some benefits out of you. And such person, because he is working as per his soul's desire, as per his soul and his mind's belief, so no flatterer can flatter him, nor ruin make oppressors great. By destroying others, he will not feel. Oppressor is the person who destroys others, the person who ruins others. So such people will be free from all this, because they are working as per their own desire, right? Okay, who doth late and early pray, more of his grace than gifts to lend, and entertains the harmless day with a religious book or friend. Right. So God doth late means that person goes to God and prays, maybe late at night or early, and every time his head is bowed, hands are folded for prayers. More of his grace than gifts to lend. And in his praise, he praises, in his prayers, he thanks God or praises God for his divinity, for all that he possesses. And he is least concerned about the gifts which God has given. See, many of us pray to God, God give me this, God give me that. Such people who are self contented, they will just pray, God, you are great. That is all. And entertains the harmless day. Entertaining the harmless day means a day which is peace. He makes, converts them more peaceful, more delightful by a religious book, by reading a religious book, or by discussing with a friend, right? So such kind of man is freed from servile band. Servile band is the problems which are there in this world. He is free from them, because He is a master of his own soul. His own soul is now, he works as per his, of hope to rise, of fear to fall. Now this is a servile band. There is a desire to rise and there is a fear to fall. This is there in each and every person who is there in this world, except those who listen to their soul. Right? This is called Lord of himself, not of lands, and having nothing yet hath all. And that person is the king of himself, the god of himself, and he doesn't. He might not be having any land or so, and having nothing. He does not have. Might be having any money. Still, he will be the most happy person on this earth. Right? Now, just think about it. Who can be this? It can be a sage, it can be a priest, a real priest, not those rich ones. It can be a sage, it can be anyone who is free to do what he wants to do. Okay, so let's stop here. This is the end of the poem, I think. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did in making it. And until we meet again, it's a goodbye.